guys! So, I'm going to teach you how to make something that looks like this. So you should have gotten little baggies that have your string in it. This is the one I'm going to make today for me. So you should have 2 of every color that you chose, and there should be 3 colors. So I have 2 yellow, you can see 2 purple, and 2 white. So the first thing you're going to do is, I think they come in like little ties. So untie them, and then you're going to make a knot at the top. So you're going to take the top, you're going to just kind of loop it around and pull it through to just make a knot. And try to make your knot as closest to the top as possible. Kind of like that. Okay, so the next thing you need is we're going to have to tape it down. So if you have tape at home, that would be splendid. So you just want to do your best to try and tape it. And you can tape it to something hard, like I'm doing this on a desk area. If you don't have a desk, then you can, I sometimes make these on my leg. I'll take tape and I'll tape it like to my leg and just do it from there. So then what you're gonna do is, on the example I have a little braid at the top, and that's what you use to like tie your bracelet together. So we want to make a braid out of the top part. So what you're gonna do, there's a few ways that you can do this, but I'm gonna do mine in 3 different colors. So I'm gonna take my 2 white, put those to the side, and I'm gonna take my 2 purple and put them in the middle, and my white or my yellow over here. So first thing I'm gonna do, it's just gonna be a normal braid. Oh, but make sure nothing is tangled. So now I'm just going to braid it. So I'm gonna take my yellow and I'm gonna lap it over the purple. Then I'm gonna take my white and lap it over the yellow. So I'm gonna do this as tight as possible. When you first start doing it, it doesn't look very tight, but you just have to keep at it. And eventually, as you continue to braid, it will tighten up. And if it's loose, that is totally okay as well. But yeah. And it doesn't matter the length that you braid it. Just make sure it's long enough so you can tie it to like another end. So yeah. I think I'm gonna stop here in a minute. That's probably good here in a second. So then when you're done and you feel that you have a good length, then you're just gonna make a loop and you're gonna make another knot at the bottom. And it's okay if it loosens up, but try to make it as close of a knot to the bottom of the braid as you can. And then just pull super hard. So now it should look a little like this. You have 2 knots and a little part to tie it. And that's probably a good amount. I mean, it doesn't have to be super big. You're just gonna have to tie it to like another part like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna take it back, tape it back to the desk. And this time I have kind of like a longer area. So I'm gonna take another piece of tape and just tape it to where it's closer. That way it's not like flailing around while I'm trying to tie knots. So here we go, press it down, kind of make sure it doesn't move. Okay, so now here is the fun part. So there are multiple ways that you can do this part. You can separate it, you can do it color by color. With this bracelet, I did like one color. Same here with this one. Here's another example. So I just did one of each color. With this one, I think I'm gonna do 2. So it's gonna be like white, white, and then like purple, purple, and then yellow, yellow. So it's like in a row. If you would like to do something different, if you just follow along with like kind of how I show you how to do it, it won't be that hard. I mean, I kind of recommend you watching how to do it first before you start doing it. So yeah, I'm going to take my white first because I want my white to go first. And I'm actually going to separate all of my strings. I'm going to kind of separate it so it kind of fans out a little bit. It's easier doing this like for your first time on like a bigger area. That way you can see your different parts of your bracelet. So first, we're going to take this one on the end, and then we're going to pick up the next one. So I have both of these in my hands. Now, what I do, I take my pinky and grab this string, and with my other hand, I grab, here, sorry, I don't think you can see. There we go. I take this one, and I grab my pinky, and then with this hand, I take this one. And this one is on the very edge. So then I kind of switch hands. So now my left hand is holding this one, and my right hand is holding the edge. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my right hand, and my pinky is going to grab it on the side. And then I'm going to make a 4. If you can see that. It's kind of like a triangle 4. So you do that. Make sure there's a 4 there, and my pinky is just holding this one. I just simply cross it over. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this hand and I'm going to pull it over. So you just put it through that big triangle and then pull this way. So now, I'll do it again. I just looped it under and pulled it over this way. Now, I'm going to let go with this hand. I let go, and I'm going to pull all the way up and tie it super tight. Then I'm going to repeat that. Do the same thing. So I have, now this one is kind of going this way, and that's okay. But you still want to hold it with your right hand. Now with my left hand, I'm going to do the same thing. Grab it with my pinky, put it under, or make your 4, and put it under, then grab it. Oops. That's okay if that happens. Then grab it and then pull it upward. So now I have my 2 knots. So with each color, you're just doing 2 knots with every tie. So you only need to do 2 per string. Sorry, that was really confusing, but hold on. I'll show you in a minute. So I did 2 with this one, and now we're going to put that to the side. Now we're going to pick up the next color. Same string. Keep the one in your right hand at all times, right here. You want to always hold that one. Now, with my left hand, I'm going to pick up the next string. And I'm going to do the same thing. Grab it with my pinky, make my 4, and then loop it under, grab it, and make my 4 again. You can kind of see it again if that helps you. Then I'm going to let go and hold it and pull it all the way up. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing. And make sure you hold your left hand super tight. You want to keep it straight. That way it's easier for the right hand to go all the way up and for you to tighten it. So do the same thing. Hold my left hand with the L string, pull it this way, make my 4, loop it under, then pull up. And make sure to keep your left hand, hold the other string super tight so it's easier for this one to go up. Okay, now I just did 2 knots with this one. So now I'm going to drop it, put it over there with the yellow one, and I'm going to take up the next one. You see, you kind of had it in a fan at first like this, and you're just taking the end one and you're going like this the whole way, and you're going to do it till you get all the way over here. So the next one is this yellow one right here. We're going to do the same thing. Make my 4, pick it up with my left hand, make my 4, loop it under, and pull through. And then keep your left hand sturdy and tighten it. Now do the same thing again, so we have 2 knots. Make my 4, loop it under, oops, and pull it through. Okay, we already did 2 with this one, so you're going to drop it and move it over. Now we're on to another color, which is purple. So we're going to take my purple, first one, make a 4 again, loop it, and pull until it's all the way up. And make sure it's sturdy. You want to make sure this one is sturdy. Do the same thing again. Make my 4, loop it, hold it, and pull. Okay, now we did 2 with this one, so we're going to set to the side as well. The last one is this purple one on the edge. So by this time you want to keep like putting them that way, and it's okay if they get mixed up, and I'll show you why in a minute. So take your last one, make your 4, loop it under, and now pull, and do it twice. So this first one, the first time you do it, oh, and now the white is all the way over here. So, yay, mission accomplished. The first time you do it though, it's going to look a little weird. That's just how it happens. It happens to me every time. But that is okay, because the next one you do will straighten that out. So it's okay if it doesn't look perfect, but just make sure you're pulling tight knots. Okay, so that yellow one or the white one is over here. Excuse me. So then, now you can kind of see that no matter what order you kind of pull these in, like if these were mixed up, you will notice that they're mixed up. And you'll be able to undo them because they're kind of lined up for you now. So now you can see we're going to make our fan again. Now we have the white in the beginning and my other white at the end. And the 2 colors in the middle. So we're going to take this yellow, or the white, excuse me. And we're going to take our yellow. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to make a 4, going this way, our 4, and then loop it under. Pull the yellow tight, and pull the white. So it goes up. Do the same thing. Make our 4, loop it under, and pull. Okay, now we're going to move on to yellow. The next yellow. Hold this. Make my 4, pull it under, and pull up. We're going to do it again, so we have 2 knots. Make a 4, loop it under, and pull. Now we're on to purple. Take your purple, hold it with your left, grab it with your pinky, make a 4, loop it, and pull. Do the same thing twice. Okay. And the more you do it, the easier it's gonna get. Make your 4, loop it under, and pull. If it helps saying words out loud like that, like I'm doing now, then that's wonderful. Do it twice. Okay. So now we're on to the last one. And if you need to, and if they don't look super straight, you can always like push them up. I push them up with my nail sometimes, and it flattens them out. If you can kind of see that, hopefully. So now we're on to the last one, which is our white. So we're going to take it with our left hand. This one's kind of hard because it's all the way over here. But just make sure to grab it with your left hand and still make your 4 going this way. So 4, loop it under, and pull. Don't forget to do it twice. Sometimes it's like hard to forget, but it's also easy to forget. Okay, so there we have it, and you can always push it up every time. I typically push it up just to make sure they're straight, kind of in order. So you can kind of see a bracelet that is being made. Alright, so now we are on to the yellow color. And I'll show you this little transition. It's the same thing as the white. You can fan it out. Sorry. And now the first one, where do we always start? We always start on this side. So we take the first one that's over here, take our second one that's over here, make our 4, loop it, and pull. So now we have another color coming. Do the same thing. Move on to your next one. Grab your purple, make a 4, loop it, and pull it up. And I apologize because all of you will have different colors than my bracelet right here, but that is okay. Make your 4, loop, pull up. Now we're moving on to white. Make your 4, loop under, and pull. Make your 4, loop under, and pull. And even if, like right now, if you want to push it up, that's okay too. Okay, now we grab our white, make a 4 with the white, loop it under, and pull. That's also another thing, if it's easier for you, instead of looping, you can make your 4, push it under, and with these two, your middle finger and your ring finger, grab it, loop it around, and then pull. It's kind of confusing though. I would recommend doing it this way until you get the hang of it. And there you go. Now we're gonna push up, make sure all of them are straight. And if it's going at an angle, that's what it's kind of supposed to do. It doesn't have to be super straight. Like if you can see this one, it's at an angle, like holding it up straight. And same with this one, they're both angled. Oh, and I'll show you, so this one, so on one side, it's gonna have all the pretty knots. Then on the other side, it's gonna look like that. This is the pretty side, this is kind of the weird side. So the weird side is actually what's on the bottom of your bracelet, and I can show you that when we're done. So we finished this one yellow, so we're gonna set it to side, make our little pretty little fan again, and we're gonna do it again, but with this yellow. So grab your purple, make a 4, loop it, and pull. Next color, and pull. And don't feel like you have to do this super fast. If it takes you a while, that is totally okay. It has taken me many years to learn how to do this. So then we're at the last one. Take our yellow, make our 4, grab it, and pull it under. And pull. Okay. So here we are. You can kind of see it's working out pretty well. All right, now we're on to the third color, and that is purple. For me, at least. For you, it might be green or blue or pink or whatever. So make your 4, as always. Just keep doing it. It's pretty much what you do the whole time, which is totally okay, because it only gets easier from here. Make your 4. And if you forget to do 2 knots, I recommend honestly just counting and just really trying to focus every time you do this. But if you do forget to do 2 knots, it'll just look different, and you'll kind of be able to see the difference, like 2 knots versus like 1 knot. And when that happens, I normally get a needle and I'll try really hard to like dig underneath like what I did and try to like pull it so it undoes the one knot. And that's really hard to do, but it is possible. But if that happens, just like, I mean, if you need to, you can text me and I can help you, or just something like that. Or even your mom. Moms are really good at getting things out. I don't know how they do it. But yeah, just getting things undone. So we're on to the last purple. Make our 4, loop it, pull it under. And that's another way if you'd like to do the 4. Do your 4, drop it, and then grab it from underneath. That's another easy way. And if it doesn't turn out perfect, that is okay. These are your bracelets. They're not meant to be perfect. But do your best. And honestly, like for me, just like not giving up, because a lot of times these things, learning new things is very difficult, but you can always do it. So we finished our second one. If you can see, we kind of getting a pretty row right there. I like it a lot. So now, since we've done all 3 of our colors, we are back to the very beginning and doing our white. So we want to start over, or your first color, the color that you started with. By now, it should be over here. So we're gonna grab it, and we're just gonna do the same thing. You just start over and do the same thing. I like to think of it as like your first color that you do, like this string that I did first. Is always like my starting point. So then once you've finished and your string is over here, then you're just starting the whole process back over and doing all of these. Next one is yellow. And try not to like get them mixed up, like your strings, because if you do that, it's kind of disastrous. And you can see, like how I told you earlier, you can probably see it better now. But once you drop a string, they're kind of like in an order. And you can probably see that on your own bracelet, so it's like easy to separate them. So just always make sure that they're straight and in their right place. Last one. And we'll drop that one. And we can move to this white, the other white. Make your 4, loop it, and pull. And if it gets too confusing, like the whole make your 4 and loop it as to how to make these, you can slow it down or just replay this video, like the beginning, or even text me and I can show you a simple video of how to make it. Okay, so by now we are here. We just finished our white. I'm going to push this up. And if it's easier for you, if you would like to start with your white as well, because we all have white, that would probably make it easier. That way you can just follow along and say white is your starting point as well. And that would work. So cool. It's getting to here, and you do this all the way down until you think it will wrap around your wrist. So I'll end this video right here, and then I'll send another one and show you how to end your bracelet. So cool. We're just gonna keep repeating them, like I said, until you're all the way down to the bottom. Typically, like your sections, like you will probably do like maybe 10 of them, depending on how big your wrist is, though. I think I do 8 or 10, yeah. So good luck, and watch the second video after this that shows you how to end it.